Yeah, hey everybody, this is Marty Mangello at the United States Presidential Service Center, coming to you from having served 6 presidents now, and Dr. David Evans is doing a fantastic job with the PIC TV network. Be sure to check out all the offerings on PIC TV. Go crazy, hit up about 10, 20, 30, 40 channels. The more support, the more watching, the more it grows, the better it does. And it is doing good, isn't it? It's a great thing that we all need more of in this world. Thank you so much. And don't forget, think PIC TV.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. David Evans, PIC TV Network President, and I'm so happy tonight to have one of my favorite people on the planet today with my sidekick, my right hand for the network, my right hand for my brother. Today. Hey, Doc, we're just excited, man, about PIC TV Network. You know where we come from ground zero to where we are today. We just got off of one of the biggest shows we have ever had of Campbell, and this was the PIC TV Network Business World. So, and man, you 5 stars for the way you man.
I'm just trying to keep up with you, Doc.
We did so many things, man, together, man, from working downtown in DC when I was at HUD to you being on Capitol Hill to me being the godfather of my godchild, man.
Don't forget the other one. You got 2.
I know, he's in the house though. You know he's the boss. The new kid is the boss, man.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So let's talk about PIC TV, because we come from the MGM that night. That I asked you, and I said, Campbell, I have an idea for a TV show, and I wanted to honor this TV show in honor of my sister Brenda, who passed away in 2020 of COVID. And you said, let's meet up. And I said, let's go to the MGM. When I went there that night with you, me and your lovely queen, man, was there. And I said, I got some TV ideas. We sat out, we talked about a talk show, fitness channel, news channel, sports channel.
Kids channel.
Kids channel.
And it all goes back to you, man. For one, there was not much to talk about at the MGM. It was just like, you wanted to do it. You had the vision, the energy to materialize the vision, and the fact that you followed through is what I keep kind of pointing back to. That more than anything else speaks volumes, because my entire life I've known people who have ideas. They want to do great things. They want to be, live in the fancy life. They want to create business. They want to help people. They want to create nonprofits. It's to be able to pick yourself up off your loins, put yourself on your 2 feet, walk, or get in front of your computer, type, create, do what's necessary to make it happen. And just like I tell my kids, man, is failure is part of the process.
Wow.
So if you don't fail, that means you've never done anything. It's the lessons you learn from the experience that you get by doing something.
Yeah, man.
The
And
words that I buried, burned, crucified, got rid of is try. Nike don't have just try it; they have just do it. To try is to fail. And my coach back in high school told me that I didn't understand what he was talking about. I didn't understand it. I was like, I'm going to try it. What do you mean?
yeah,
But understanding that if you're trying something, you're not really doing it. You're not doing it at all. So if you're
right.
trying something, you might as well just not do it at all. Because either do it or you don't. That's the bottom line. We're either going to do it or we're not. If you fail along the way, you're learning what not to do.
Yeah, and I really I look at our relationship, man. First of all, I want to thank God for you because I never knew when we first met, man, that we was going to be business partners, work together, man, for be family and brothers. Just because we blood, that don't make us close, man. And a lot of family members, again, when you get to the place we are, people jealous. People envy. They don't want to celebrate you. You get to a place where we are now, man. The air is kind of thin on a high level. Yeah, and on top of that, it's not a lot of room on top of that mountain, man. So I learned that being the president of this television network and you being my vice and working with me is to understand that this vision is bigger than us. First of all, we got to give all the glory to God.
That's right.
All the glory goes to him, man. Because we're not smart enough to birth a television network in the midst of COVID, in the heart of in the midst of COVID. But I remember you told me so many times, Doc, you said, pick TV network. This network is going to be so big, David. And I was like, man, I got to go back. People don't understand this, but I got to do a roll into this. When me and you did a TV presentation at DC TV, I called you from Baltimore and I said, Campbell, come on over. I'm doing a TV show. My sister Elaine asked me to do the TV show. He said, Doc, I'm in Baltimore. I said, come on over. He zoomed over there. We got in the studio. We shot that event. And me, you, and Steve was on the set. And pray for him. He'd been in the hospital for like over a month, man. Pray for Steve. He's been in the hospital. But what happened was, after that presentation was over, we were talking about helping the homeless and doing some things in the city. And I said to you, Campbell, in the back studio, I said, man, I've never been on Fox 5. I've never been on Tyler Perry. I've never been on TV One. I've never been on Fox 5, NBC. And you told me, tell me the words you said, Doc. Tell me the words.
Don't worry about that because you're going to have your own studio.
You said that. And I laughed at you. I got the archives in my phone. I laughed at you because I didn't believe it. I did not believe it, bro. And here it is, a year later, man. My sister Brenda passed away. I decided to do a channel in her honor to turn into 25 channels. And you planted the first seed. And I said to you, Cam, I don't have no money. You remember at the MGM, we talked. You put that envelope in my hand and said, make it happen. I will never, ever, ever forget that for the rest of my life. What did you do?
There was no discussion about it. It didn't have to be. I know who you are.
And you kept saying, Doc, that this thing is going to grow and grow. You said, we got something that Kathy Hughes didn't have. You said this. We have something that Tyler Perry didn't have. You said, we have something that, BET didn't have. And I still didn't understand what you was talking about. So tell the world what you meant when you said that, Doc.
If you look at when Kathy Hughes created Radio One, and what she had to go through those radio stations and to build it to where she's at right now, and the time she did it. The same thing with the Oprah Network, what she had to go through and the time that she did it. You look at BET and what he had to go through and the time he did it. Tyler Perry. What we have is we have streaming. We're on instantly in 22 countries, instantly on everybody's cell phone, instantly on everybody's laptop, Roku TV, Roku stick. And it's a thing where, the challenges that they had at the time were enormous and they overcame those challenges. We have our own challenges dealing with what we're dealing with at this particular moment in time. But the difference is we have all those mechanisms under one umbrella on Pick TV, because we're on equivalent of what's competing with cable being streaming. We're on Apple Watch. You can go online and watch this on the watch, or Android Watch. You're on a tablet. You can go on the tablet and watch. While we were on the program earlier, my son, he wanted to be in the studio. He wanted to be on TV. I gave him the tablet. I reached over. I took the tablet. I turned it on. He was watching live on a tablet. So he was good. He felt like he was part of it. I have, you could do it on a cell phone. So you could easily, while we're on, be on the cell phone. That's unheard of prior 10 years ago. This technology and where we're at is we're in a position that in a brief moment, you could be in front of 100 million people.
That's right.
The Super Bowl is competing to get that kind of audience.
Yes, sir.
The World Series is competing for that kind of audience.
Yes, sir.
So in an instant, you can be in front of 100 million or even 400 or 500 million people. It's just incredible. So the opportunities that we're sitting on, I saw it, and I saw the potential, and I also saw the fact that I'm watching the news. I'm watching ABC. I'm watching Fox 5. I'm watching CBS. I'm watching CNN, and I can't understand for the life of me. There's so much going on in the world. Why they're all showing the same story.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Somebody got shot in New York. This is going on in Ukraine. This is going on in Florida. They're showing the same story with the same graphic, pretty much talking to the same witnesses. So it's not a lot of diversity. There's not a lot of people are tired of seeing the same thing. They're not really giving you independent news because they fall under one big umbrella.
Yeah.
So to be out here having these different channels and to have the opportunity to talk about what's going on in the Caribbean, what's going on in Latin America, what's going on in all 50 states, what's going on in all the territories, what's going on in the 54 countries in Africa, 53 countries in Africa, and different parts of Europe and Asia, all at the same time, and give so much diversity, having individuals with content that they bring into the network.
Yeah.
We're not competing with them. They're looking at us to see how they can now be more competitive with what we're bringing to the table. And that's the difference in the vision that I have for Pick.
And I want to thank you, man, because smart people always surround themselves with smarter people. And I needed you, a Michelle Cox. I needed a Celeste from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Patty from New York. I need a lady for wisdom from down in Mississippi. I needed a Sheila McGrew down in Alabama. I needed people, and God sent me people. My wife, Coach Evans. But I want us to go back to when because you put the blueprint together for the contracts, the website, the stuff. Tell people about who Campbell is, even in the midst of Pick TV Network and before that, with Global Solutions, because I want people to understand that this man has gifts, talents, and abilities that the world needs to know about. and you can get services like this too. Talk about Global Solutions.
Uh, I'm yeah, I'm blessed. I can truly say that, I've been blessed my entire life. And I remember I was working on Capitol Hill as a staffer for a member of Congress, and I had my chief of staff. She said to me, she said, the things that you do, don't take it for granted, because it is rocket science. And it's a thing where we have our gifts and our talents, and because it's our gifts and our talents, we always have them. We don't pay attention to what it is, and we share them, very very easily. We don't understand the value that we bringing to the atmosphere, to the world. And I remember one day I was sitting having lunch or uh, drinks with a group of people, and I introduced myself to this one particular guy and gave him my card. This Manchester lobbyist, Manchester Global Solutions lobbyist, government relations, and he asked me about it, and I was just like, we represent foreign governments, and we do, government relations to make sure that the interest of the foreign government is best represented before the United States government, the U.S. Congress. And he worked for a television network. 2 weeks later, I saw him again. He gave me his new business card, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm a lobbyist too. This is my new business card." And I was looking at him, going, "Wow, people should really stay in their lane," because then he had clients that he couldn't deliver for, and those clients, then you ruin the integrity of your industry. If you stay within your lane, if you do what is within your gifts and talents and skill set, then you'll be successful. And as a result of that, I stay focused on my vision, which is to represent the interests of corporations, small businesses, and foreign governments, to best present them before the U.S. to Congress or other state governments to get funding, legislation, programs, exchange programs, trade programs, financial investments, development programs, whatever it is the needs are. That's what we provide, and whatever it takes to get there, whether it's the media, education, whether it's bringing in investors, those are the things that we do.
And I'm telling you, man, before the foundation of the world, before me and you were born, God knew our gifts. He knew what we were capable of doing. And he knew that I would need you, Campbell, to reach the world. This Roku that Jump Talk Howell in my hand, folks, is like American Airlines. Every time a plane goes off, American Airlines get richer and reach more people. This Roku device, again, 58.9 million people have this in homes around the world. And Pick TV Network is there, right through this device, and have interpreters in these countries. I never thought in my life, Campbell, that we'll get to that. But let me ask you a couple of more things before we roll a little further. We started Pick TV Network with just a seed and a vision. We talked about doing shows before any commercials, before any spotlights, before he had any. It was me and you doing this for like the first 40 shows. You remember that, Doc?
I remember well, because I had just had eye surgery, and I was like, it needed to be done, and sometimes the light was painful, and sometimes I go look back and I was like, man, I look like I was in a really bad accident. But it's no one can really tell your story but you. That's one thing I appreciate about the network, is no one's telling our story.
There you go.
And we have to tell our own story. We have to be responsible for creating the imagery, the vision, the programming for the next generation to understand who they are, where they come from, what their potential possibilities are. And I use the word programming because that's exactly what it is. The reason why we like certain songs on the radio, and you ever listen to a song, it's like, I don't even know why I like this song. We're being programmed. You hear
Yeah.
it again and again and again and again. All of a sudden, you know the lyrics. You go through the beat, and like, I hate this song. I don't know why I keep listening to this thing. You don't have a choice. It's on
Right.
every station. So it's happening with music, with movies, with the information that you're getting in is rewriting itself. It's writing itself on your brain. It's in your spirits, your soul. What we expose ourselves to actually affect us,
Yeah.
changes us, becomes part of us. And that's why it's so important to have positive programming, to have the right history, to have us tell our story about business, about politics, about art, history, culture, because somebody else tell it. They're telling it from their perspective, and you're getting somebody else's story. You're not getting what the story is from our culture, our perspective, our generation, you know, and that's what's important because, and you can watch kids, you
Yeah.
watch little kids, and they mimic what it is that they see. So the programming on TV that you put the kid on in front of for 2, 3, 4 hours a day is more impactful than the program you instill in them with the teachings and trainings. The TV is going to win every time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, man. And that's why, when we were talking about the shows, we said, let's do something for the kids, having a children's program. And your son is going to have his own show, as
Absolutely.
my godson will, And we talked about doing something for the prison. We have the Prison Freedom channel that's up right now that we created. These are our shows, Hello America. And you helped me do something from Ukraine over there that we still play. Pick TV Network, the coaching channel. We just birthed that. These are original shows and programs. But let's get into tonight. I want to fast forward, Campbell, to an explosion that happened on the Business World channel, and I know that this was history for us tonight because
Hmm.
I never thought that the Queen will hook us up with a big connection. I want to send a shout out to the Queen and talk about these two great businessmen, millionaires who came on tonight on Pick TV Network.
Yeah, Doc, I remember, I think it was probably 2007 or so. I put together a program for churches.
Yep. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's for churches to, if you're going to have a church and the Bible teaches that we need to be equally yoked, we need to be around people who are like us, then
Mm-hmm.
you can't have your members fluttering around in general population. You need
Right.
to have your compound, you need to have control over your flock. So my thinking is if the church have land or the church need to buy land and develop that land so it can contain, control, protect, secure its flock.
Yeah.
So members of the church should be able to have the church should be able to have a credit union because all its members put money in that church every month, every
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, develop a credit union to be able to do mortgages so that folks can build on the land that the church owns. That land can have childcare, laundry, store, gas station, everything can be contained. And it's a thing where you want to protect the folks, you want to have that, give them the best ability to go out in the world and to survive in the world. And it was just a program that I wanted to share with pastors and get it before them. And it seems as if these gentlemen have understand that concept. They're
Yeah.
teaching their members, the importance of good credit through Bishop Williams and the this
Bishop Bond.
Success Factory.
Mm-hmm.
The Success Factory. 90% of his members, 90% of his members have 700 plus credit scores and own houses. That's amazing. That's exactly what it should be. No one taught us about credit. No one. But you get to college, and every bank is in the lobby of the student center, you filling out credit cards and you're getting approved.
Yeah.
No one teaches you how to manage your student loan debt, because if you get a $50,000, $30,000 student loan and you get $5,000 back. Take that 5,000, invest in a CD for 4 years.
Yeah.
You don't go blow it at the school store, go buy a car. These are things that we don't know. But
Yeah.
people who have wealth, they buy an apartment building next to the school. Their child stay in the apartment building. 3 or 4 other people rent other units in the apartment building. So when the child graduates, they sell the apartment building, they cash out, and they're good. The child never actually has to get a loan.
Yeah.
So there's a number of tactics that we've not really understood about capitalist society, because we're really coming out of one generation removed from slavery. We're really coming out of, and it's amazing that our grandparents and some of our parents, it's such a good job getting property and doing the things that they did, and we've done such a terrible job of not maintaining and advancing, building upon what they've created. So this gentleman, um, you know, they've created a system that allows us to kind of tap in and build wealth. And Bishop Bates,
Yeah.
the programs that they're running,
Yeah.
it's something that we should all pay very close attention to, and be involved in, because we need that kind of financial security
Yeah.
to advance us, to survive in this economy, to insulate us or cushion us from whatever recession that's about to come. And until we understand the control of finances, we will never be able to be in control of our destinies. If somebody control your money, they control you. That's your power.
Yeah.
We live in a capitalist society. We need to control our capital.
And I love the power of ownership. And that's what we were talking about tonight. And I want to congratulate you for doing a wonderful job, for Bishop Michael Bates. And, the Smart People's Network was amazing. When you was talking to him, he explained what it was about. And then you also interviewed Bishop Rick Williams. And when Bishop Rick Williams was talking about the Success Factory, that was big. These men are millionaires. These men own car lots and doing great things. And we were in a meeting with them afterwards, and another person who was on. Campbell, you told me almost a year ago, you said, they're going to come to us. I was like, Campbell, how are they going to come to us? You said, they're going to hear about Pick TV Network. Bishop Williams, who was on tonight, of the Success Factory, and also Bishop Barnes of the People's Network, the Smart People's Network, they want to have a show on Pick TV Network. They want to come on Pick TV Network, and I was like, get with the queen and make it happen.
No, it's like, media is power. Information. We have to be able to understand the reason why Fox TV, ABC, CNN, these networks exist, because they are creating the thought process. They're creating the trend. They're creating the next superstar. These networks have the ability to create, and they're positioning individuals, corporations, politicians for the next level of success. And we don't have those mechanisms in place for our people. So BET was owned by Bob Johnson, and Bob Johnson was very clear. He said, this is about entertainment. It's not about education. It's
Wow.
entertainment.
Wow.
So there's music and entertainment, and that was his prerogative. We have an opportunity to do so much more with Pick. We can entertain, we can inform, we can educate, and we can inspire. So we took it upon ourselves that this was an opportunity for business, for people to learn, to be educated about opportunities. We have opportunities for people to be entertainment. We need being entertained. They can be inspired, be informed. Our responsibility is greater because we've learned from the past, and we're looking to improve upon what's already been done. So understand the power of programming and television and network. Other individuals who are looking to reach millions,
Yeah.
This is a viable option. We're in 22 countries, and if you add from Facebook to YouTube, from other programs that we are attached to, I would say probably 100 countries that people are watching at any given moment in time. You know, and we're in an industry. This industry is climbing towards $1 trillion industry. $717 billion thus far, and growing. So we're on the verge of, in the next 30 years, hitting $1 trillion. We're part of $1 trillion industry.
Yeah.
It says something. It says something as we're growing, expanding, and people are recognizing and noticing, the reach. Because we have people calling in from South Africa, we have people calling in from Colombia, we have people calling in from the UK. It might start out with one, it turns to 100, turns to 100,000.
Yeah.
It's gonna grow. All we have to do is keep doing what we've been doing, and networking and reaching out to people, and the information about PIC, the opportunities with PIC continue to grow, and we'll continue to have more people such as Bishop Bates, such as Bishop Rick Williams, and the Smart People's Network, and the Success Factory, and all the entities and all their contacts and other people in their network and their affiliates is going to want to be a part of the opportunity we have here. And I showed you, Doc, last time we were together. I showed you a video of a convention that took place in 1989, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, give me 6 months, we're gonna be doing something just like that with PIC. And you're just like, okay, I can see it. That was 2 weeks ago. 6 months from now, in May or April, May, we're gonna be doing it. I think we can do it in DC at either the MGM or the Gaylord Hotel, and it's gonna be spectacular. So we're gonna start. We can probably announce it in December or Christmas, or around right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, just because.
And that'll be our second anniversary is coming up for Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say again to Bishop Rick Williams, thank you for coming on. The business success factory, that was a major information that we learned with Bishop Rick Williams coming on. And then also to hear about what Bishop Michael Bates is doing and the Smart People's Network was amazing, and I'm finding out, Campbell, that it's all about collaboration. PIC TV Network has an identity of its own because we help ordinary people who's doing extraordinary things come on our network. Number one, we look out for people who may never have a shot to come on TV to give them an opportunity, and we work with them. We got a call from Tennessee today from a young lady says she wants to come on PIC TV Network and do her cartoons for kids. She already had 4 cartoons on another network. She want to bring them on PIC TV Network, Campbell. And I told her to call you so that can be lined up. Now, she talked to me a year ago, Campbell, and she said, I'm not ready yet. Today, she said, I'm ready. Whatever it takes, I'm ready to come on PIC. Now, a year ago, I didn't give up. It was just like a seed planted. Just like when you told me what was going to happen. And she's ready. She said, whatever it takes, I'm ready to pay whatever I need. I need to come on PIC TV Network with my cartoon shows and play them on your network. I'm blown away.
No, it's we spoke to a number of people over the last year and a half, going on 2 years. And we have to meet people where they are, because a lot of people are not able to even conceptualize the fact that they can be on TV.
That's right.
They don't realize how many hours. every month we have to find 42,200 hours of content. You know, so when you tell people that, oh, people will tell you, oh, I want my own station, and you're like, yes, you have to find 168 hours of content every week, and they're like, well, I got 30. I have a 30-minute show. Yeah, you can't play the same thing over and over and over again. You have to find 168 hours of the content. So however you're gonna do your programming, will help you, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people they have to take a step back because people talk about it like, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to have my own show on TV, and then the opportunity presents itself to them, and then there's like, oh, I didn't think it was actually that could happen,
Yeah.
and then they have to really think about whether or not they're going to do what it takes to put it together and make it happen. So there are people that will come back up after they've retooled and say, you know what, I may not need my own show. Station. I may just need 3 hours a week, and that's we could do that. But at the end of the day, we're giving people the opportunity and the option to get their programming out, get the original programming, get their content before the world. So we're going through a lot of I would say people with ideas and content, and we're finding the right fit. And
Yeah.
I'm big on a Cartoon Network, a TV channel for children, because that's part of the reason why I told you I was really excited about Pick, because with my son, I wanted to make sure that he saw himself on TV.
Right.
And that's significantly important to us. We just saw where the I think it's a meta cartoon. My son loves it. They just brought in the whole Latino content, and they rolled in the Latino aspect of it. So now they've increased their market share. They've doing something good for the community. It's good for the world, and now the Latino community can see themselves in part of this game. I just can't remember the name of it. Oh, goodness, my son loved this game. But the diversity that we bring to this field, we can have folks who are indigenous. We have folks who are from the continent. We have folks who are from the Caribbean. We have opportunity for all people to now bring their content to the Pick TV network. And that was one of the main impetus why I was sharing with you that there's so much content and richness in the Caribbean and Latin America. And you've talked to some of these folks, from the continent, you know that there's so many opportunities, and they're looking for distribution, looking for an outlet. And here we are. We just need to let them know that we're here.
Yeah, and that's big, Campbell. For us to see this network grow right before our eyes, right before the world, because we come from a blank screen with nobody on to reaching over 1 million people in a year. That's unheard of, and to be on one of the largest television networks on Roku without movies, without music. We doing something big, and I'm gonna do a roll in a few minutes from Daryl. The Season's Vets. That's a show that they're going to be airing on Pick TV Network going in 2023. We already have some commercials running for them. But when I think about you, who know where I come from and where we come from with Pastor Bowie, my wife, I just go back, man. I'm like an elephant. I don't forget nothing. I remember, man, you said, man, we go through a dry season, but it's going to come. There, man, it's like fire alarm, Pick TV Network. And then you said more people are watching you than you know.
Yeah.
You told me that a year ago. Mm-hmm. And I never thought that we would have promos from Anthony Anderson, from
Cedric
the Entertainer. Bro man from the 5th floor of the Mont Lawn Show who loves us. The
chef.
I never thought that, Campbell, these people who already made it are promoting Pick TV Network. And there's nowhere for us to go but up. When you interview 2 millionaires, 2 bona fide millionaires, you can Google their names, you can look at them, and Tell me about the resume of Bishop Bates, though, because now just give us, because he's gonna be watching this. Tell me about the resume for Bishop.
Yeah, it's funny because it's always good to have background about who you're dealing with, and you know, when you start to read, it's humbling when you
Wow.
start to read about the accomplishments that some people have been doing, how long they've been in the fight. Some folks have been around, doing, you know, pushing the pedal forward since the 50s, 60s, 70s. They've just been consistently pushing forward,
Right.
and it gives hope that no matter how hard things get, because when people look back at our story and look at the pandemic in 2020, it's
Yep.
gonna be one of those moments in life that they're gonna be just like, I don't know if I could have survived that,
Yep.
you know, but we did, and we came through it. And if folks went through the Vietnam War, they went through the financial crisis of '97. They've been through crashes in 2011. There've been war in Ukraine. The Iraq War, 9/11. We've had shuttle to destroy. We've had some tragedies that we've persevered and overcame. And I think that's the dynamic feature of the human spirit. So the fact that we're here and being able to deal with and interact with and work with and support initiatives by Bishop Bates and Bishop Williams and you know Princess and other dignitaries, we're in a very good space.
Yeah.
And we're in a space that brings a lot of responsibility being in this space,
Yeah.
because the information that we put out there, we are now exposing somebody's program and the work they're doing to the masses. And we have to be careful about the responsibility that comes with it. Some networks are quite reckless, and they are more opinionated about what direction it should go. We want to be as fair as possible to deliver the content in its raw form so people can see it and take from it what it is that they need, rather than to support our own personal self-interest and kind of steer people in a particular way. Because I think being able to have conversations, whether we agree or disagree, but be able
Right.
to have conversations that's honest, that's pure, that allows for the development of pure thought is important. And it's one thing that we don't see. We see a lot of people getting together and arguing and being disrespectful and a
Right.
lot of emotions. We have to be logical, rational, and really provide people with the opportunity to gather as much data as they can to make the best decision that they can, rather than telling them that this is the decision that you should be making.
Yeah.
And a lot of media outlets nowadays are more opinionated rather than giving people the information.
Yeah. And,
You know?
and that's big, Campbell. When you think about where we are today, both of us are in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., which is the most powerful place on the planet. A lot of money, a lot of politics. You know that because you're on Capitol Hill. And, our world today, anything that happens in Washington, D.C. affects the world. And Pick TV Network headquarters is here. We're in Washington, D.C. I mean, we were just celebrating to be at the Black Caucus. You've been there for over 10 years, going there, meeting people. And even before the event took place, Mr. Campbell, you had already knew people coming in town. You had already sat down with some of the congressmen and, some of the princes from different places, dignitaries. Let's talk about one of the former ambassador and the queen, the princess, who you had a chance to talk to and meet while they were here at the Black Caucus.
Man, And DC is one of my favorite cities in the world. I'm telling you, it is a very few places that I can compare DC to. And I keep finding myself back here. I've been to Miami. I came back. I was in New York. I came back. I went to Atlanta. I came back. You know, I travel all over overseas, and I come back. DC is a fascinating city
Yeah,
because it's also very transient, and you
yeah.
have people from all over the world that come to DC, have an influence on DC, and then go back and take that influence and experience that they've gathered from DC, take it back to wherever they came from.
Mhm.
And DC is the seat of power, you know, so people from around the world come to DC to interact with the power brokers that we have. And during the Black Caucus, there's 51 years that the members of the Congressional Black Caucus host their annual legislative conference. And we need to do more of an outreach to the Latin American, the Caribbean, the African community to have them take part in the Black Caucus because you have some of the most powerful people in the world that is coming to DC to attend brain trust issue forums, receptions, parties, press conferences. There's a lot of activity, and this happened during Hurricane named after myself, Ian. And as crazy as it was, and the possibility of total disaster, it
Yeah,
was still a success. You
yeah.
know, it was still a success. So I met with my former boss, Congressman Bobby Rush, who's retiring this year. He's a
Wow.
minister and member started the Chicago division of the Black Panther Party. Been in Congress since 1993.
Wow.
First got elected. The only man to beat Barack Obama, who ran against him for his congressional seat. So
Wow.
you know, he's a champion. He's been a champion for Black liberation, for equality for quite some time. Um, then I met with Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, from Brooklyn, New York, and of Jamaican descent, Caribbean. New York is one of the most diverse districts in the country, and she
Wow.
represents a little bit everybody. I don't think there's not one nationality that's not represented in New York, in Brooklyn. You
Yeah.
know, so you got everybody. She's a phenomenal member. She's on the Energy and Commerce Committee. Um, and just got a chance to continuously to support her and be
Good.
present. And then to introduce former Ambassador Sam Fidelis from Johannesburg and his amazing wife Queen, who's also named Sam. I mean, sorry, Princess, who's also named Sam. Um, Works on mental health issues. I mean, being able to bring them to the gates of the White House and to tour DC and to be with Congresswoman Terry Sewell's boat ride, and you know Pastor Bowie, who's just been amazing. DC has some of the most amazing people and doing some phenomenal things. So this place where we're seated, we call this home, but people are really amazed with it, and we navigate it like it's nothing. The same people who live when I was living in New York, it was you take it for granted. You know, people coming from around the world to come see New York. Um, there's tremendous amount of power here, and I tell people that if you are, for example, if you're a student doing a research paper on France or doing a research paper on um, oil and petroleum, you can go knock on the doors of Chevron or Hess or BP or the door of the ambassador of France and the French embassy, and you can actually talk to somebody, get firsthand knowledge, firsthand account of what's really going on, ask your questions. There's almost nowhere else in the world that any corporation, any country leader, any aspect of what's going on, whether it's environment, whether it's solar, whether it's geopolitical issues, there's some organization, some entity, some reference here in DC that you can actually go talk to somebody and get some firsthand information. So that's the uniqueness of DC, and being here, we have to take full advantage of that. And I want to kind of extend the invitation to all the folks that we work with on Capitol Hill, have access to on Capitol Hill, all the ambassadors, all the presidents as they come in town. that this is an opportunity to reach out to the diaspora, to not just talk to folks in your country, but in 100 countries all at once. And with this platform, we can do tremendous things, and we can bring your message, share what you're doing in your country, show people how they can get involved, increase tourism, increase in education about what's going on locally and domestically, um, locally and internationally, domestically in their country, and do business, vacation, have a great time. I was in Grenada last year, Doc. I was in Grenada last year, and we were looking for a place to go for spring break with my wife. And we were looking at Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then it just hit me. I was like, you know what? Let me call the ambassador, see what he's doing. Ambassador, we want to go to vacation, and we think about going to Grenada. What do you recommend? Ian, talk to this person, this person. You can't get that anywhere else. You know what I mean? The relationships and opportunities. We had the most amazing time in Grenada. It was coming out of
Wow.
COVID. It was fantastic, and we have these relationships where we could just call people because we've been in DC. We're having dinner with these folks. We're sharing the restaurants. We're sharing subway cars. We're sharing Uber rides. You know, we never know who you're with. Just talk to people.
Yeah, I want to take it to one more thing before we go to a commercial.
Mhm.
Being on Capitol Hill, and I want to talk about a dark day that me and you was together, and you were riding, taking people in town um, before the former president, Mr. Trump, was in office. The day that they bombed, the day that they stormed the Capitol, you were riding down there.
Mhm.
You called me that night and said, Dave, we got to get him out, man. I will never forget those words because you were so passionate. You were so passionate because you were riding down there. I don't know whether you felt something was going to happen to Pop off Campbell. I don't know, man, but you were so adamant. And a couple of times I seen you in our whole relationship. That time you was on fire. That time. Talk about that, Cam, for me. Just give us 2 minutes, man.
You know, when I worked for the government, I think since my entire career, I've traveled to about 32 countries. And in that time period, America is a shining beacon of hope
Yeah.
for everybody.
Mhm.
You can We talk about let's just Saudi Arabia, for example. You can't pull yourself up from your bootstraps in Saudi Arabia. You can't pull yourself up in France, or it's more difficult. In America, you can get off the plane as a refugee seeking asylum, and somebody see you at the airport, and like, I love your look, something about your face. We doing a commercial, and put you in the commercial that in the airport before you even leave the airport, and you become successful. There was a homeless guy. He had a great baritone voice, and they put him on TV. He got a record deal. He became successful, and because of mismanagement or bad financial management, he became rich and then became poor again. That's America for you. The success, the immigrants, the story of slavery and overcoming it, and civil rights, and all these things that goes on that makes America what it is. We have our challenges. There are a tremendous amount of challenges here still to overcome. But to see what somebody occupying that seat in the White House did to that Capitol and to this country
Wow.
is not should not be tolerated or accepted. Any American who think it's okay and support what the president did, they need to get out of their bubble, because it speaks of their prejudice. It speaks of the privilege that they enjoy, because when they use Black Hawk helicopters to clear the
Mm.
streets so that this man can hold an upside down Bible to send a message, when they use tear gas for peaceful protesters on the streets, but yet a certain group of people, white, privileged individuals, can storm the Capitol.
Right.
we need to do something. We need to fix and address the issue that's slapping everybody in the face, and people refuse to say that there is any institutionalized prejudice, racism, discrimination that's taking place in America. I'm not saying that there's the individuals who went down to the Capitol. If I'm part of a riot, I know I'm part of a riot.
That's right.
I'm not confused by the fact that people are throwing things through windows. We've stormed the Capitol. There's no confusion about whether or not you stormed the Capitol. You can't be confused about that. You've never been to DC. You've never been invited to the Capitol. You've put down police. You break through barricades. You can't. Everybody that's involved should be charged as a traitor to this country and should pretty much taken out and shot, because that is what would happen if those people look like me or like you, Doc. And that's the truth about this country, that we have to acknowledge that there's still a lot of problems we need to address, because in fairness in sentencing, police brutality, in corporate bank lending, corporate appointments, I mean, we're still having black first. You're still having the first woman this, and the first Latino this, and the first Asian Pacific Islander. Like, we're too great of a country to not accept our diversity to make us continue to be great. And by not addressing the immigration issue so people can become citizens of this country, to not addressing the issue of income and disparities and wages and diversity in all these issues that we need to address, all we're doing is giving India, China, and other countries the opportunity to do what they're doing. They're focusing on themselves and their education. They're coming for us. They've been coming for us since 9/11. Because in 9/11, we closed our borders and we stopped bringing immigrants in. We got scared. And soft power is more powerful than bullets, rockets, nuclear weapons. When you have somebody from another country come here, interact with us, and then take that relationship back, that friendship, 20, 30 years from now, that person may become president and develop a relationship with us as a nation. And that's soft power. That's what makes us great. That's what keeps us great. Being afraid of our immigrants and our neighbors and those around us, puts us in a position where we're playing catch up.
Man, that is big, man. Folks, we are having a talk to the world on PIC TV Network. It's the Business World After Talk Show. I'm here today, PIC TV Network president and co-president, co-founder with me today, Mr. Campbell. We're going to take a commercial break and be right back. Folks, this is something that you probably will never, ever, ever see again. Us talking about so many things on this one segment. So you want to look at this, get the information. And also what I want everybody to do, Manchester Global Solutions. This man is doing so many great things: government relations, lobby, campaign, elections. Elaine Austin is running for position. She's going to be working with Mr. Campbell to getting her position, Ward 5 in Washington, D.C. And many people who came on PIC TV Network won. C. Anthony Muse won. Glenn Ivey won. He did interviews on PIC TV Network. So you want to get in touch with Manchester Global Solutions. The number is there, 202-709-3354. He's also my right hand for the PIC TV Network, folks. And we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be right back. Don't touch that dial. And you're watching the PIC TV Network special. For everybody watching, check this out.
Yeah, hey everybody, this is Marty Mangello at the United States Presidential Service Center, coming to you from having served 6 presidents now, and Dr. David Evans is doing a fantastic job with the PIC TV network. Be sure to check out all the offerings on PIC TV. Go crazy, hit up about 10, 20, 30, 40 channels. The more support, the more watching, the more it grows, the better it does. And it is doing good, isn't it? It's a great thing that we all need more of in this world. Thank you so much. And don't forget, think PIC TV.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Said the Entertainer. I want y'all to check out PIC TV Network. That's right, PIC TV Network. They got 60 free channels on Roku. This is dope. They also started the brand new Coaching World channel at $9.89. So if you are a content provider, you are a young business with an opportunity to build a platform where you can have your own show, do some programming, check out PIC TV Network on Roku. They got over 60 free channels for you to check out and also grow a business. Go and see them now. See the content. See what they have to do. Learn something. Check them out. All right? PIC TV Network. That's what I'm talking about. Holla.
Hey everybody, we're back here again on PIC TV Network. Before we close out this show, I want to say thank you for watching once again. Those who are watching today, this is a special opportunity for you to get involved with PIC TV Network. How do you do that? All you have to do is to scan the QR code right above me, right here, right there. And you can give to support the network. There's some wonderful things. Mr. Campbell's coming back on the set with me that we're doing together. That is Project Smiles. Project Smiles is an opportunity for everybody to get involved. This is the giving season. This is the time when a lot of people during this time of the year are looking forward to celebrating the holidays. And what we have is something called Project Smiles. And Project Smiles is a program that you can give to help folks, especially kids and families during the holidays. It's so important, folks, to understand that everybody during the holiday season may not have, like me and you. There's certain people right now during the holiday season are going through grief, lost loved ones. There's a lot of people right now who lost jobs. There's a whole bunch of people who are looking for some help and resources. And what we have done to PIC TV Network, we started Project Smiles, where we give away gift cards, toys, and a small cash app around the holiday seasons to make somebody's holiday season better and bright. So with your help, Project Smiles can go further and do more things. Scan the QR code, and it's all about helping somebody who cannot help you and giving to somebody who's less fortunate than you. And this is why we developed Project Smiles. I'm going to bring Mr. Campbell back up in here before we close out this segment. Campbell, I was talking about Project Smiles, man. You understand how important it is during the holiday season for a kid to have a toy, for a family to have a meal, we understand that everybody may not have turkey for Thanksgiving. A lot of people may not have toys to pay for, to give the kids. And Project Smiles is one of the ways that we can do to help support people. And I want to thank you for giving away over 300 book bags, paying out of your own pocket to help the kids.
The last project we were involved in, it was the Christmas project with the bags and the teddy bears and things of that sort, toys.
Yes,
I mean, if I'm a big humanitarian. I've always served at food kitchens and soup kitchens and coat drives and clothes drives. And I learned earlier on at some point in my life, I think it was in high school, that if I donate the clothes in my closet, I'm making room for new things to come.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff in my closet that I'm not wearing, that don't fit or want to in good condition for me to donate, I donate those things. And before you know it, I have twice as much stuff than what I had in there before. So I have to keep donating. So it's this mindset and this habit and something that happens with us that we nowadays, instead of donating, we have storage units,
Yeah.
and we pay from $60 to $600 or even up to $800 for a storage unit to keep our stuff. When we
Mm-hmm.
could actually donate that stuff to needy families, people who lost their homes because of fire or because of bad situation. We could actually donate those things to help people, and it opens us up. Excuse me. It opens us up to more than what we had before.
Yeah.
And looking at these kids, being able to, whether it's providing the book bag or helping with the toys or turkeys, or we do the feed the homeless, the feed the hungry for some people who are still professional, but they can't afford food for their families. Being able to just be a blessing to others, it provides you more joy and than
Yeah.
anything else. And
Yeah.
as a result, the things that happen in your life, they say you never really know who's praying for you.
That's
You
right.
know, so do the things that we should be doing. We know it's right to do. What I tell my son is, you know the difference between right and wrong. So do the right thing. Makes life a lot easier. Do the right thing to help people. During the pandemic, I said it was disgraceful that people were hoarding food,
Wow.
because we could take one bag of rice and one can of beans and feed 50 people.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, if we're going through a situation, we don't need to have a big plate of food piled on to survive. We just need a small morsel, a little bit of water. It gets us through.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that people actually starved or was without food during a pandemic, when we should be looking after our neighbors and taking care of our neighbors, we should know everybody around us, and we
Yeah.
should check on them. You know, so those things are, you've allowed a selfish, individualistic mindset to permeate our societies, when that's not how we survive. That's not how we live. We live in communities and and on city blocks that we know our neighbors, and we work together to overcome and deal with things. And to see what happened in 2020 and how we're slowly coming out of that, and now we're slowly getting back to engaging one another and being able to appreciate the human touch and being around people, and you know it's coming back slowly. I think we have to have an appreciation for the fact that we need to just spend more time being community.
Yeah.
So
I remember Campbell over the summer, man. I partnership with the St. Stephen's Baptist Church and Tuesdays give away food and produce and butter. I want to give a shout out to Bishop Twyman and the staff. Over 80 people who been doing this for the last 20 something, 15 years or more. And then in COVID, it grew and exploded with this church keep doing it. But we had some bread and some produce. And man, I said, Campbell, what are you going to do with it? You said, I'm going to help this person. They don't have any food. You didn't even take it home to yourself. You didn't even take that food to say, man, let me look out for me and my family. You gave that food to somebody else, bro. That's why I love you, man.
we have to look out for each other, and in helping others, we help ourselves. Yeah. And the work that you do with these tractor trailers coming in to feed families, I mean, Queen introduced me to the fact that we could actually get these tractor trailers and bring in food, and the fact that you guys were already doing it here in Maryland, it was just remarkable, and to see that in action, man, it is, we don't really understand the impact of the families, and people look good on the outside. They're cleaned up, they got suits on, they're driving Mercedes Benz, they live in great houses, but they're barely making it, because they're living to keep up that perception, and it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people. So some people's families, they have folks going to top schools, elementary, middle, high, and those things cost money. It's a drain on the family. Somebody lose a job, we're in dire straits.
Man, that's big. Man, man, you can talk for the next 3 days, man, because we got a never-ending story, man. Hey, everybody, you're watching a special segment on the Pick TV network, and I also want to thank everybody for watching. This is a segment that you definitely want to check out again and tell some people about the Pick TV network programs and shows on today. My name is David Evans, and I'm hanging out with my co-founder of the Pick TV network, Mr. Campbell. Folks, don't forget to check out Global Solutions. I want you to get involved. Those who need some assistance, those who need some help, this is the man with the plan. This is the brother that I've been telling everybody about. If you want to do it, you do it right. He only knows one way to do it. He's about his word. He's about helping people. He's about getting the job done. So, yeah, folks, want you to get Manchester Global Solutions, and this is my brother. He's the only one I know that I know I can count on when it comes to making things right on time. When it comes to meeting with dignitaries, I let him do it. He makes me look good, makes the network look good. He's always there when I need him, 1,000,000%. And I want to say this to everybody who's watching. Whenever you're doing something bigger than you, bigger than your name, bigger than your big dream, you need people around you who you can trust. You don't need Judas. You need people around you who you can understand they got your back. And if you go to war, they're going to go with you. You need somebody around you who understands your weaknesses and turn your weaknesses into strengths. You need somebody around you. If you're doing something on this level, and I want people to understand that the bigger the dream, the bigger the team.
Mm-hmm.
I could not do Pick TV Network by myself. Brother Campbell, you saw me work for a whole year, Doc. You kept that. You burned the midnight on. Doc, for a whole year of training before we got to where we have now. You saw me, man, in the trenches. You saw me put the work in. You saw me put the work in.
Mm-hmm. Because you staying up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning working, that was not in your repertoire. That's not what you did. But you sacrificed and did whatever it took to get us here. And that's why my respect for you, man, is just through the roof. Because being able to follow through, follow up, learn whatever you have to learn. Right now, you already had the background but this is a different industry. So it's a very different field. And you spent a year in the trenches from, let's just say, from 12 to 5, 12 noon to about 3, 4, 5 a.m. every day.
No vacations, man. No breaks, man.
I was just like, Doc, you're on my schedule. Why are you violating my schedule? You're on my time.
Yeah.
It's midnight to 5 a.m. That's my time.
Yeah, man. Put that work in. And then when people come on, they see 60 channels, see all these stars coming on Pick TV Network, people calling from around the world, interviewing millionaires like you did tonight on the network. Man, it's the time. And I heard Tiger Woods say, if you don't put the time in, you don't deserve it. Mm-hmm. It took everything, man. It took money off our credit cards we didn't have. I was like, Kevin, you got to take in this bill this month, man. So I mean, and I love the fact that we can go back and see where we come from. a lot of people come on board now because they see us growing, expanding, and doing, and it's a beautiful thing. But I look at the seasons of trees. And I'm gonna close with this. I look at the season of transitions and the metamorphosis the earth is going through, Campbell. All these trees we looking at outside gonna lose the leaves. Every last one of them. Millions and billions of leaves on those trees. Everyone gonna go.
And half of them is in my yard because I don't know how they. It's a mess, man.
and the tree and the roots gonna stay. And then next season, around April, May, June, a brand new set of leaves gonna come on those trees again. That's like relationships. Some people are gonna fall off. It's okay. That was their season. You know, thank God for the time they were there. But then there's people like you, the long haul. You know, it's been cold and you with me, brother. It's been snowing, man. I remember, and I got to close because my mind is going on. Me and you were at Miller's Farm.
Yeah.
And we shook hands. And I think I bought you, what kind of?
Some kind of peach cobbler.
We got a peach cobbler. And I said, Campbell, you said, Dave, I got a good feeling it's going to be our year.
But you remember what I was looking at, though, across the street?
That's right.
Looking at the airport, the abandoned airport.
That's right.
That could be our studio space. We could use that. There's several acres of an abandoned airport. Now it's just like, you know, because I can see it where we're going to need that space. But you're going to need for studio, movie development, documentary. We're going to need those acres. So whether it's there or somewhere else, it's coming. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of we're one interview away from it happening.
Ooh, I'm telling you, because somebody can be watching right now saying, you know what, I want to help Pick TV Network. What do y'all need? You know, I got space you guys can use. You never know who's out there watching right now and listening to our story, man, and they want to be a part of it. I meet people all the time. Somebody was watching our program on Facebook today, and they text me and say, I want to be a part of Pick TV Network. I see what y'all doing. It's just amazing, man, how God just sends you help when you need it, man. And I love you. You're my right hand. You know, those who are watching this presentation today, I want you to support Global Solutions. This is the man, again, who's out here doing it, and he's doing it well. He's doing it right. You don't have to worry about something happening and you worrying about it going the wrong way. Fantastic Global Solutions. I put my money on my man right here. If you're looking for something, relationship, lobbying, campaign, he does contracts. He reads stuff. This man does the work for me, you know. So you know he got to do it right for you. You only know it's one way to do it. One way to do it. Hey, Doc, I'm going to get some rest, man. Hey, y'all got to look at the replays again. I want to give a shout out again to Bishop Rick Williams, who was on earlier with us. I want to say thank you to him. And also want to say thank you to our other Bishop Michael Bates, who was on senior. He has a big business out there, folks, that you want to check out. And that is smartpeoplenetwork.com. And again, for Bishop Williams, he has the Business Success Factory. These were people who we were interviewing earlier today. Campbell, you did a 5-star job, man.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Looking forward to just bigger and greater things. And if you keep referencing that you're on the 12th floor, we're going to get you on that 12th floor sooner rather than later.
All right, everybody. Hey, thank you for your time, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Pick TV Network. You know what time it is. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Keep watching Pick TV Network, because Pick TV is the place to be.
It was a big